Have you ever woken up in the morning after 8 hours of sleep and still felt tired? You drink your coffee, go to work, smile, talk, but something inside you is missing. Something is wrong. Your body is moving, but your soul feels like it has been left behind. This is not physical exhaustion. This is your soul trying to send you a message. Today, I will tell you about 7 signs that your soul is exhausted. These are signs that most people do not notice, ignore, or misinterpret. You go to the doctor, tests are done, everything comes back normal. But you know something is wrong, something is missing, and no one can tell you what it is. Because this is not about your body, this is about your soul. And the modern world does not recognize soul exhaustion. It calls it depression. It calls it anxiety. It calls it stress. But these are all just symptoms. The real problem is much deeper. First sign: sleep does not restore you. You sleep 8 hours, maybe 10, maybe more. But when you wake up, you feel as if you never slept at all. Your eyes open, but there is a heaviness inside you. You have to force yourself to get out of bed, and this tiredness continues throughout the day. You drink coffee, maybe 2 cups, maybe 3, but nothing works. Because this tiredness is not in your muscles. This tiredness is in your soul. I once knew a man. He would go to bed early every night and wake up late every morning. Doctors told him nothing was wrong with him. His vitamins were normal. His thyroid levels were normal. Everything was normal, but he did not feel normal. And one day I asked him, "What do you think about before you fall asleep?" He looked at me and said, "Every night I think about the same thing. Tomorrow will be just like today, and the day after, and the day after that." That is when I understood. His body was sleeping, but his soul was never resting, because his soul was not satisfied with the life he was living. And every night, he fell asleep knowing he would have to return to that life. Soul exhaustion is like this. Your body may be in bed, but your mind, your soul, never stops. Worries, regrets, fears, disappointments. These gnaw at your soul throughout the night. And when you wake up in the morning, you feel like you have come out of a battle, because you really are in a battle. You are fighting with yourself, with your life, with your choices. And this battle is consuming you. Second sign: nothing excites you anymore. Think about the things you used to love. Hobbies, activities, people. Things that used to make you happy, excited, gave you joy for living. Now look at them. And do they still give you the same feeling? Or have they become just habits? You used to look forward to meeting your friends. Now are you looking for an excuse? You used to get excited about new projects. Now do they just look like burdens? You used to have dreams. Now does even dreaming feel exhausting? This is your soul trying to tell you something. This life is not for me. This path is not for me. Something needs to change. But most of us do not hear this voice, or we hear it but ignore it. We tell ourselves, everyone feels this way. This is normal. This is what growing up is like. This is what responsibilities are like. And we continue. We continue living in a dead way. I once knew a woman. She had a successful career. Everyone looked at her with envy. But one day she told me, "You know, I do not feel anything anymore, neither happiness nor sadness, just emptiness. Everything is gray. Everything is the same." And I saw something in her eyes, a helplessness, an exhaustion. A woman who had everything from the outside was someone who had nothing from the inside, because her soul had already given up. Excitement is the oxygen of the soul. Without excitement, the soul withers. It cannot breathe, and it slowly dies. If there is nothing left in your life that excites you, this is a serious sign. This is your soul's emergency call for help. Third sign: you cannot live in the present moment. Your mind is constantly somewhere else, either in the past or in the future. You think about the mistakes you made in the past. I wish I had done it this way. I wish I had said it that way. I wish I had not made that decision. Or you worry about the future. What if I lose my job? What if my relationship ends? What if I fail? What if everything goes wrong? And these thoughts occupy you so much that you completely miss the present moment. Your child is telling you something, but you are not listening. You are eating a delicious meal, but you are not tasting it. The sun is setting, but you do not see it. Life is flowing before your eyes, but you are not there. Your body is there, but your mind, your soul, is lost in another time, another place. This is one of the most insidious symptoms of soul exhaustion, because physically you are doing everything. You go to work, you spend time with family, You attend social events, but you are not really present in any of them. You are just there, physically present, but spiritually lost. And this lostness makes you even more tired over time, because you cannot get real satisfaction from anything. No moment nourishes you. It just passes, and you watch it pass. Think about it this way. If you eat a meal without tasting it, will you feel satisfied? Physically, maybe, but spiritually, never. Life is the same way. If you are not living the moments, just passing through them, your soul is never satisfied, never resting, never being nourished, and it gets tired, more and more tired. Fourth sign, you avoid people. Were you once a social person? Did you enjoy spending time with people? What happened now? Do you not want to look when the phone rings? Does responding to messages feel heavy? Are you making excuses to decline invitations? Does being alone seem more appealing than being with people? This is a sign that your soul has gone into protection mode. Your soul is so exhausted that it no longer has the strength to carry other people's energy. Talking is tiring. Listening is tiring. Smiling is tiring. Playing a role is tiring. And you distance yourself from people to escape this exhaustion. I once went through a period like this. I would keep my phone on silent. I would respond to messages days later. I did not want to see my friends. Being alone at home felt more appealing than any activity outside, and people thought I was antisocial. But I was not antisocial. I was just tired. My soul was tired. And being with people made this exhaustion even worse. But here is the interesting thing. Being alone did not solve the problem either, because when I was alone, I was left with myself. And I was the most exhausting conversation partner. My thoughts, my worries, my fears, these spoke even louder when I was alone. And I was both avoiding people and unable to escape from myself. This is the trap of soul exhaustion. Wherever you go, you carry yourself with you. Fifth sign, you question the meaning of life. What is the meaning of this? Why am I here? Why do I do the same things every day? Is this what life is? Is this all there is? These questions keep spinning in your mind, and you cannot find an answer. You look around, everyone seems normal. Everyone continues with their life. Goes to work, comes home, watches television, sleeps, repeats the same thing the next day, and no one questions, or they question but do not talk about it. These questions may scare you. Am I abnormal? Everyone seems happy. Why am I not? Why do I think so much? But let me tell you something. These questions are a sign that your soul is trying to wake up. A sleeping soul does not search for meaning. A sleeping soul just follows routine. But your soul is waking up. And as it wakes up, it looks around and asks, what is this? This is actually a beautiful thing. Painful, but beautiful. Because these questions are calling you to a deeper life. They are saying there is more. Search for it. But most people get scared when they hear this call. They turn back. They suppress the questions. They try to go back to sleep. And this exhausts the soul even more. Because trying to put a soul that wants to wake up back to sleep is like trying to make a river flow backwards. It requires tremendous energy and eventually fails. Sixth sign. Small things affect you greatly. Things you would normally not care about are driving you crazy. Someone says something wrong, you think about it for days. Someone cuts in front of you in traffic. You become furious with anger. A small mishap happens. It feels like the end of the world. And then you get angry at yourself. Why did I react so much? It was not that big of a deal, but you cannot control your reaction. This is your soul's capacity being full. Think about it this way. Imagine a glass. The glass is already full of water. What happens if you add one more drop? It overflows. Your soul is the same way. It has accumulated so much, carried so much weight, that even the smallest addition causes it to overflow. That small thing is not actually small. It is the last drop. I once knew someone going through a period like this. They would react to everything. If a friend responded late to their message, they would get hurt. If their spouse forgot something, they would explode. If they received a small criticism at work, they would be unhappy for days. And everyone thought they were overly sensitive. But they were not sensitive. They were just full. Their glass was already full to the brim, and every drop caused an overflow. If you find yourself overreacting to small things, stop and ask yourself, what is in my glass? What am I carrying? What have I accumulated? Because your reaction is not to that moment. Your reaction is to all the exhaustion, disappointment, and pain you have accumulated. Seventh sign: you do not feel like yourself. You look in the mirror and a stranger looks back at you. Is this me? Was I like this? What happened to me? Maybe you used to be a cheerful person. Now even laughing feels difficult. You used to have dreams. Now you are just trying to survive. You used to know yourself. Now you do not even know who you are. This is the deepest sign of soul exhaustion. You have become disconnected from yourself. You have lost your essence. You lived according to others' expectations for so long that you forgot what your own expectations were. You played a role for so long that you cannot distinguish the role from reality. And now, the person you see in the mirror is a character you created. The real you, somewhere deep down, is lost. There once was a man, someone everyone loved, everyone admired, successful at work, devoted to family, respected in society. But one day he told me, I do not know who I am. Next to my son, I am a father. At work, I am a manager. Next to my wife, I am a husband. Next to my friends, I am a good friend. But who am I? Who am I without the roles? And when he asked that question, I saw fear in his eyes. The fear of not knowing the answer. This fear is one that most of us carry. When we remove the masks, when we leave the roles, we do not know what will be left. And this uncertainty scares us. That is why we continue wearing the masks. We continue playing the roles. And with each passing day, we move a little further away from our true selves. So now, what will you do? How many of these 7 signs did you see in yourself? 1, 3, 5. All of them. If you recognized some of these signs, do not panic. This does not mean something is wrong. This means your soul is trying to communicate with you. And this is actually a good thing, because communicating means it has not given up hope. The first step is awareness. And you just did that? You saw these signs? You recognized them in yourself. This is the beginning of the journey. Now it is time to find the source of this exhaustion. Ask yourself honestly, why am I so tired? What in my life is consuming me? Which relationships, which situations, which thoughts have brought me to this state? The answers may not come immediately, but keep asking, because questions open the door to answers. And sometimes just asking the right question is the beginning of healing. Soul exhaustion is the silent epidemic of the modern world. No one talks about it. No one diagnoses it. But millions of people, every day, live with exhausted souls. From the outside, everything looks normal. But inside, something has already broken. What I want to tell you is this. Your soul may be exhausted, but it is not dead. It may have weakened, but it is still there. And every soul, under the right conditions, can heal. It can come alive again. It can get excited again. It can return to life again. But for this, you first need to stop. You need to stop running, escaping, playing roles. You need to face yourself. And this can be scary, but it is necessary. These 7 signs are letters your soul has written to you. Each one is saying, please listen to me. Each one is saying something needs to change. And now the choice is yours. Will you read these letters and throw them away? Or will you take them seriously and take action? Your soul is waiting for you. The real you, behind the masks, under the roles, is waiting for you somewhere. And the longer you make it wait, the harder it will be to find it. But it is never impossible. It is never too late. Today, right now, you can take the first step. Just stop, listen, and hear what your soul is trying to tell you. Because in the end, the most important relationship is the relationship you have with yourself. And repairing this relationship will change everything in your life. Heal your soul, your life will heal. Listen to your soul, life will answer you. This is not a promise. This is the unchanging law of the universe.